Chapter 1 Gu Qingge, Loli Voice System. You are listening at Novelful.audio. True Saint Continent, Eastern Domain, Northern Wilderness, Gu family. Poof! Gu Qingge opened his eyes and couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. It was crystal clear and dazzling, like a diamond, containing powerful divine power. Even a drop of it could suppress strong opponents. His whole body was covered in terrifying cracks, radiating divine light, blood flowing continuously, as if it would shatter in the next moment. This was the backlash that came after failing to break through to the Saint realm. Why did I fail? Gu Qingge didn't pay attention to his injuries. He roared to the sky, his long snow-white hair flying, shining with divine light. His eyes were fierce, like two blazing suns, his face filled with unwillingness. Boom! The chaotic aura erupted like a volcanic eruption, recklessly impacting this space, causing the void to rumble and various runes to flicker and shake. If it weren't for the top-level formations in this clan territory, capable of protecting semi-saint experts, I'm afraid it would have already collapsed under this aura. A whole 1,000 years. For the sake of becoming a saint, I don't know how many secret realms I've ventured into, how many battles I've fought with strong opponents, all for the sake of seizing resources, but in the end, I still failed. Why? Could it be that those with average talent are destined to not become one with the Tao, unable to walk the supreme immortal path? I refuse to accept it. Gu Qingge growled lowly, filled with unwillingness. Boom! Seemingly because his emotions were too agitated, the powerful aura couldn't be restrained and shook this space, almost causing this clan territory to collapse. Poof! At this moment, the various terrifying injuries on Gu Qingge's body suddenly burst open, like exquisite porcelain about to shatter. Blood flowed like a blood man, and an extremely intense pain struck. The injuries are too severe. Gu Qingge woke up suddenly. Only now did he notice the injuries on his body. He knew that these were the backlash from the failed impact on the saint. If he didn't carefully recover and restore himself, these injuries alone could render him useless. Gu Qingge fell silent, calming his emotions and concealing his own aura. Then, he took a light breath, and the spiritual energy of the world surged towards him like a tide, crazily entering his body. Divine light circulated as he began to heal his injuries. After a long time, Gu Qingge opened his eyes. By now, the scars on his body had disappeared, and his aura was becoming stable. Of course, this didn't mean that his injuries had fully recovered. It was only superficial. Hiding within his body, he sat silently, his gaze deep, as if he was staring at a distant place. 1,000 years of preparation, only to end up in failure. After a long time, Gu Qingge let out a bitter smile. His snow-white long hair scattered, and his face was filled with desolation. For this day, he had prepared for 1,000 years, going through countless intense battles, gathering enough cultivation resources for 3 attempts to impact the saint, all for the sake of saving face. He had thought it was almost a sure thing, but after 100 years of seclusion, what awaited him was 3 consecutive failures, depleting all the resources he had prepared. Now, looking back, it seemed that he had reached his own limit. Transmigrating for 6,000 years, I don't possess an unparalleled physique, and my aptitude is not considered top-notch. After enduring countless hardships, rising from a humble disciple of a small family, I had hoped to reach the pinnacle of the great Tao, to have eternal life and everlasting glory. But now, it seems that it was all just wishful thinking. Gu Qingge felt disheartened, recalling his experiences since transmigrating. He couldn't help but laugh at himself. Indeed, Gu Qingge was a transmigrator, coming from the heavenly dynasty of the Blue Star world. He had transmigrated to this fantasy world 6,000 years ago. Through 6,000 years of arduous cultivation and struggle, he went from an ordinary cultivator to a semi-saint, not only earning the title of Starfall King but also leading his family to become a dominant force in the region. But in the end, he fell at the hurdle of the saint. The path of cultivation is filled with countless difficulties and dangers. One must contend with both heaven and man, and the slightest carelessness can lead to death and annihilation. As an ordinary genius, without any external assistance or extraordinary background, he had already done his best. However, even so, he still failed. the gap between him and those truly heaven-defying geniuses was too great. Perhaps, what he said is right. I was originally just a mere weed, a lowly ant on the ground. Am I even worthy to stand alongside the true dragons of the 9 heavens? Su Changsheng chuckled self-deprecatingly. He recalled the events of the past, that lofty figure, the condescending gaze filled with indifference. There was no disdain or contempt, only disregard. Great Sun Saint Sect. Su Changsheng's gaze turned cold, but soon, it dimmed. The saint child of the Great Sun Saint Sect possessed an unparalleled divine body, towering above all, looking down on all living beings. He was truly beyond Su Changsheng's reach, not even in the same league. Well, it's fine. I'm just an ordinary genius. I shouldn't have expected so much. Being a semi-saint ancestor is not bad either. It's fine even if I don't become a saint. I can still live for over 3,000 years. There's nothing wrong with that. Su Changsheng silently thought to himself, cultivators in the everlasting realm are said to have boundless longevity, theoretically able to live for 10,000 years, saint cultivators can live for 50,000 years. Although he failed to break through to the saint realm, he was still a peak figure of the eternal realm, a semi-saint who had set foot into the saint realm. Living for another 3,000 to 4,000 years would be easy for him, coupled with his cultivation level. As long as he didn't provoke a saint, he could still dominate a region. In that case, wouldn't it be good to just lie low? Even if he couldn't achieve eternal life and overlook all of eternity, becoming a semi-saint ancestor was still quite comfortable. At least, it was tens of thousands of times better than his previous life. Then let's just slack off, marry a few holy maidens, goddesses, fairies, and imperial princesses, become the patriarch of a family, and live happily every day. It's also a wonderful life. That the idea of slacking off arose, and Su Changsheng suddenly felt a sense of liberation. At this moment, Su Changsheng couldn't help but think, why was he working so hard? Lying flat, slacking off, being an ordinary semi-saint patriarch, isn't that great? Developing the family in normal times, making the family more impressive, occasionally showing off in front of others, and marrying more wives and having impressive children, isn't that nice? The things he couldn't accomplish could be done by his children. In the past, he abandoned all worldly desires for cultivation, cut off all mundane attachments in order to maintain his peak state, and kept his mind in a youthful state, but now, it seemed that none of that mattered anymore. He was going to start slacking off. After cultivating for so long, isn't it fair to enjoy a little? Ding, the host's slacking off mindset has been detected, and the family descendant system has been successfully activated. Just as Su Changsheng was about to slack off, a cold, mechanical voice with a loli-like tone sounded, causing Su Changsheng to be momentarily stunned, feeling a strange sense of familiarity. Was this the voice of his concubine? No, wait, this fucking system. Realm system, physical body realm, Qi realm, true origin realm, divine ability realm, celestial human realm, origin core realm, law manifestation realm, empty void realm, everlasting realm, saint, saint king, great saint, quasi-emperor, great emperor. Felu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab it now, promotion period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 2 Newbie Gift Pack, Saint Dao Fruit, I really have integrity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. System. Su Changsheng's face showed a bewildered expression. Damn, is this really a system? It's been 6,000 years. For a whole 6,000 years, do you know how he has spent these 6,000 years? Do you fucking know that you're 6,000 years late? And what does it mean to activate successfully by detecting a lazy mindset? Does that mean lying flat is the right way? Working hard to cultivate doesn't deserve system activation. System, what functions do you have? Su Changsheng had countless grievances swirling in his heart, as if they were about to erupt in the next second, but he suppressed them, keeping a calm face and speaking in a gentle tone. After all, this is a golden opportunity. Whether he can take off in the future depends on the system's guidance. He can't curse, otherwise, what if the system refuses to guide him? After all, if he really can take off, who would want to be lazy? Ding, the system functions are divided into two types. One is to marry and have concubines. As long as the host gives birth to offspring, rewards can be obtained. The better the aptitude of the offspring, the more abundant the rewards. Note, the overall rating of the mother must be at least 90 points, and the minimum standard for aptitude is divine body or peak aptitude. The stronger the physique or aptitude, the better. Fuck, divine body. Peak aptitude. Upon hearing this, Su Changsheng couldn't help but widen his eyes, as if a series of question marks were about to appear above his head. System, are you joking? He knew what the mother meant, referring to the woman, but what is the concept of divine body? In the fantasy world, physique is divided into mortal physique, spirit body, king body, divine body, sacred body. Immortal physique. Aptitude is also divided into low grade, intermediate, high grade, top grade, peak, supreme, and so on. Divine body is already a top-notch physique in the entire continent, which spans billions of miles and is home to countless living beings. The number of divine bodies can be counted on both hands, at least, that's how it appears on the surface. This kind of physique, known as a top-notch physique, is destined to become a monstrous saint in the future. Once the divine body reaches its peak, it will be in the realm of a saint, known as divine and divine king, with astonishing combat power, invincible among the same realm, and even able to suppress ordinary saints. This is the treasure of all major forces, the sacred land's precious gem. With this kind of physique, as long as it is cultivated seriously for a few thousand years, there is hope to become a saint. A single saint is enough to protect a top force and maintain its prosperity for a whole 50,000 years. That great son Saint Child who once looked down on him was only at the peak of the divine body, yet he already looked down on everyone. Now, he actually wants the wife he marries to at least have a divine body. Is this making things difficult for me, fatty tiger? System, which force would marry a divine body to a 6,000-year-old old man? Su Changsheng said speechlessly. Although his appearance did not age, he still looked young and handsome, with long white hair that added charm to his years, a truly peerless beautiful man. But in the eyes of those top families, an old man like him actually wants to covet their family's peerless beauty. If Su Changsheng dares to propose to those families, he will definitely be slapped to death by the saint ancestor of the other party. This is the host's problem. Please find a solution yourself. The system will not directly provide wives and concubines. Su Changsheng. Does he have to resort to forced abduction? Su Changsheng frowned slightly, secretly thinking. He noticed that the conditions given by the system did not include whether the woman was willing or not. This means that as long as the conditions are met, he can directly force a marriage. If it really comes to that, he doesn't mind doing so. After all, this is his hope for rising, and he doesn't want to let it slip away, let alone end like this for the rest of his life. The second function is to develop the family. The stronger the family's influence, the more geniuses and strong individuals there will be in the clan, and resources will be rewarded, although much less than having children. Develop the family. That's not bad. Su Changsheng's eyes lit up. Although the rewards of this path are far less than marrying and having children, it is still a way out. Of course, he will definitely focus on marrying and having children. By the way, system, do I have a beginner's gift package? Su Changsheng continued to ask. The system remained silent. System, oh system, I have been lonely in this unfamiliar world for 6,000 years. For a whole 6,000 years, do you know how I've spent these 6,000 years? I think about you every day. Seeing the system not responding, Su Changsheng said with a heartache, his face filled with misery. It was heartbreaking to witness, bringing tears to one's eyes. After 6,000 years of cultivation, experiencing life and death repeatedly, Su Changsheng had long abandoned the so-called moral principles. He knew it even more deeply. Only a crying child gets candy. Ding, detected that the host has an unclaimed beginner's gift package. Would you like to claim it? Seemingly unable to tolerate Su Changsheng's shamelessness, the system finally spoke after a moment of silence. However, from that cold and mechanical lowly voice, Su Changsheng faintly sensed a hint of disdain and contempt. Of course, I'll claim it. Su Changsheng didn't care about this at all, smiling happily. As long as there was a beginner's gift package, what did a mere contempt matter? If he could continue to receive rewards, not to mention contempt, even if the system used its little feet to step on his face, it wouldn't be a problem. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the following rewards: 7th grade good fortune pill, 3000 years of cultivation, Saint Dao fruit, 9 Tribulations secret manual, upper. Gasp. Good fortune pill. Saint Dao fruit. 3000 years of cultivation. Upon hearing this, Gu Qingge immediately sucked in a breath of cold air, contributing to the warmth of the fantasy world. As expected of a product from the system, it was truly a high-quality item. With just one 7th grade good fortune pill, a dying saint could once again be lively and energetic. With his injuries, one pill was enough to heal him more than 10 times, but what was the concept of a Saint Dao fruit? That was comparable to the total cultivation of a saint. If it can be refined, it is equivalent to inheriting most of the power of a saint, with no side effects. Of course, it is extremely difficult for the Saint Dao fruit to appear. It requires killing 10 saints and refining their cultivation and the great Dao in order to form the Dao fruit. This requires extremely strong strength. At least a great saint is required. Therefore, the Saint Dao fruit is extremely rare. Once it appears, it will be snatched away. With the Saint Dao fruit and 3000 years of cultivation, he may be able to become a saint. No, he will definitely succeed. Cultivate, break through. I want to become a saint. Gu Qingshe's eyes were bright, and his heart was excited. Once he breaks through to become a saint, the standard wives and concubines of the divine body will no longer be out of reach. A 6,000-year-old figure is indeed repulsive, like an old man, but a 6,000-year-old saint is a completely different concept. A lifespan of 50,000 years is only equivalent to the youth period. As long as things are handled properly, it is not impossible to marry the divine body. Even if it doesn't work, he can secretly take action and specifically ambush those weak forces. As the once dominant figure in the region, known as the Starfall King, Gu Qingge doesn't care whether the means are dirty or not. Boom. Soon, Gu Qingge entered closed-door cultivation again. In the clan, various brilliant divine lights emerged, flooding the entire space. The divine radiance was splendid, with countless auspicious lights, surging with immense spiritual energy, shining like the sun, accompanied by the resounding sound of the laws of the great Tao. In the resounding sound, Gu Qingshe's aura was constantly rising at an astonishing speed, as if a peerless existence, constantly transforming and evolving, about to break free and shock the world. Just as Gu Qingge was undergoing transformation outside, in the Su family, at this moment, the entire clan was filled with gloom. A catastrophic storm seemed to be approaching. 3 months later, in the main hall of the clan meeting, the head of the Su family, as well as a group of elders and patriarchs, all appeared with extremely solemn expressions. Flylu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab the top up now. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 3: The Disaster of Su Family. Gu Qingge is out, let's go to war. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ladies and gentlemen, let's discuss our strategy on how to deal with the relentless attacks from the Gu family. Su family's patriarch, with a solemn expression, sat at the head seat, his imposing face looking at the crowd. At this moment, in the main hall of the clan meeting, dozens of clan elders and seniors were seated separately, according to the color of their clothes. They were divided into white, black, and purple, corresponding to the white-robed elders, black-robed elders, and purple-robed elders. White robes were the lowest, while purple robes were the highest. There were not many purple-robed elders. All of them were supreme elders, all of them were cultivators in the everlasting realm. They usually secluded themselves in cultivation, striving to break through their realms or guarding important places, and generally did not inquire about the situation within the clan. But this time, except for the 2 supreme elders guarding the secret grounds, all of them appeared unprecedentedly. Only for Su family's current crisis. Su family is a first-class power in the true Saint continent. Located in the northern wilderness, ruling over tens of thousands of miles of land as the overlord, standing tall like a dynasty. The neighboring power is the Gu family, the White Cloud dynasty, both of which are first-class powers, dividing the northern wilderness together, standing opposite each other, forming a triangular balance. In addition to the 3 major powers, There are also numerous large and small forces distributed, like many small planets revolving around a star. However, for some unknown reason, the Gu family, which has always maintained a balance with the Su family, suddenly surged in strength last year and launched a fierce attack on the Su family. The Su family's industry is being eroded crazily from all aspects. The veins, commerce, resources, and everything else have been targeted by the Gu family, causing great losses to the Su family within just 1 year. Not only have many of the strong members of the clan fallen, but the industry has also suffered severe damage, almost collapsing by half. During this period, the Su family did not refrain from counterattacking, even igniting a large-scale war. However, during this outbreak, it was discovered that for some unknown reason, the power of the Gu family suddenly surged, with the number of strong members in the clan far exceeding that of the Su family. After a fierce battle, the Su family suffered heavy losses, with 2 elders of the everlasting realm falling. Now, only 7 remain. If it weren't for the critical moment when they used the means left behind by the ancestor who closed himself off before, they would have been driven away by the strong members of the Gu family. It is feared that the Su family may be wiped out. The Gu family must have either joined a top power or obtained a great opportunity, otherwise, their power could not have surged so much out of nowhere. A purple-robed elder spoke in a deep voice. His face was old, with white hair and beard. He had lived for a long time, but his eyes still flickered with a terrifying light, like a fearsome beast, making people unable to help but feel frightened. Cultivators of the everlasting realm, known as venerables of 10,000 ages, can live for 10,000 years, naturally possessing their own terrifying aspects. Now, we can only retreat to Heavenly Origin City and give up most of our industry when facing the Gu family. Only then can we barely survive. Another Supreme Elder spoke coldly. She was a white-haired woman, beautiful and stunning, with a cold and noble demeanor. Despite her white hair, she couldn't hide her peerless grace. Abandoning most of our industries. Upon hearing this, not only were the elders shocked, but even the clan chief on the seat was furious. Am I supposed to give up all the resources that the Su family has accumulated for thousands of years? That is the foundation that the ancestor worked so hard to establish. The eyes of the Su family's chief turned red. He was a descendant of the Su Changsheng lineage and held great respect for the legendary ancestor Su Changsheng. Thousands of years ago, the Su family was just an ordinary third-rate family, with the strongest member only at the law manifestation realm. It was Su Changsheng who rose to power and led the Su family to become a first-rate force, dominating 100,000 miles of land and gaining fame throughout the entire True Saint continent. It can be said that the Su family's current status was almost entirely built by Su Changsheng's efforts. Now, the purple-robed Supreme Elder wants to abandon the Su family's industries. Doesn't that mean giving up the foundation that the ancestor worked so hard to establish? Elder Suqing, this is no joke. The chief of the Su family's face darkened, staring at the white-haired woman with anger in his voice. The Su family today was built by the ancestor. With your suggestion, aren't you afraid that the ancestor will blame you when he comes out of seclusion? Or perhaps, you have already betrayed the Su family and joined the Gu family. Upon hearing this, the hearts of the elders trembled, especially the other purple-robed Supreme Elders. Their faces changed. Su Changsheng. For them, as Supreme Elders, this was also a name that resounded like thunder, and they held great reverence for him. Although they were all cultivators at the everlasting realm, the Su family only had one ancestor, Su Changsheng. As for them, they were just Supreme Elders, and the gap between their status and Su Changsheng was too great. It should be noted that Su Changsheng had roamed the True Saint continent for thousands of years, known as the Starfall King, and was invincible in the everlasting realm. The number of peak everlasting realm powerhouses who died at his hands exceeded 20. He even had a battle where he fought against 3 semi-saints for 3 days and 3 nights, ultimately killing them all. That battle made Su Changsheng's name shake the True Saint continent. If it weren't for the fact that the ancestor of eternal life has been in seclusion for hundreds of years and has never appeared, how could the Gu family dare to be so arrogant? Su Yun, do you think I'm willing to do this? This Su family was also built up by watching Changsheng brothers' hard work. But if we keep fighting with the Gu family, the Su family will eventually be dragged down. Elder Su Qing, with a calm expression, did not become angry because of Su family's words. She is a figure from the same period as Su Changsheng, a direct relative, and greatly admires Su Changsheng. Naturally, she will not betray the interests of the Su family and become a traitor. Instead of being dragged down by the Gu family, it's better to proactively shrink our power and preserve the strength of the family. As long as Brother Changsheng comes out of seclusion, all problems will be solved. Elder Su Qingge continued. Su Yun, you must remember that what this world values is not so-called industries or resources, but strength. What does giving up temporary industries matter? As long as Brother Changsheng comes out of seclusion, everything can be resolved. And if Brother Changsheng cannot come out of seclusion, then not only will we have to give up most of our industries, but in order to preserve the bloodline of the Su family, we may even have to give up the foundation of the Su family. Although these words were understated, they shocked everyone present. For a while, several elders, including the head of the Su family, fell silent. They all understood the meaning behind Elder Su Qingge's words. The ancestor of eternal life is currently in seclusion, attempting to break through to the Saint realm. This matter is only known by a few elders and the head of the Su family. If the ancestor of eternal life comes out of seclusion, it means the breakthrough was successful, and even if it's not the best outcome, his strength will greatly increase. Naturally, he will be able to easily suppress all small fry and effortlessly resolve the crisis facing the Su family. But if he cannot come out of seclusion, that would mean a failed breakthrough, and he may even perish directly. At that time, without Su Changsheng as the pillar supporting the sky, the decline of the Su family would be inevitable, coupled with the relentless pursuit of the Gu family. If they don't want their clan to be annihilated, they can only give up Heavenly Origin City and seek refuge in a foreign land. For a while, the entire family meeting was filled with a heavy atmosphere. What? Just at this moment, on the front seat of the meeting, a black-robed elder frowned. He received a message and his face suddenly changed, unable to hide his shock. He is an elder responsible for intelligence in the family, a peak empty void realm expert, a half-step everlasting realm top powerhouse. What's going on? His exclamation immediately attracted the attention of everyone. The gazes of the 5 elders, including Su Yun, and the 6 everlasting realm venerables, all turned towards him. It was as if the substantial impact of the great Tao could almost intimidate the empty void realm. Even as a cultivator at the half-step everlasting realm, he felt a suffocating sensation at this moment. The Gu family has mobilized a large number of powerful individuals, dozens of law manifestation realm experts, over 10 empty void realm experts, and 7 everlasting realm experts. They are fully attacking the violet mysterious heaven, intending to occupy it. The elder in black had an extremely ugly expression. What? Everyone present changed their expressions. The violet mysterious heaven was the most important foundation and heritage of their Su family, a broken small world. For the Gu family to attack there now meant that they wanted to uproot the Su family. The Gu family has gone too far. Su Yun slammed his hand heavily, unable to hold back his roar. The aura of the everlasting realm erupted, shaking the entire Su family hall. We must go to war. A group of radical elders also roared in anger. They were already extremely frustrated, and now they were completely ignited by the Gu family. Then let's go to war. The group of elders looked at each other, and Elder Su Qingge sighed helplessly. Her beautiful face remained unchanged, but her tone turned cold. After all, she was a cultivator at the 6th level of the everlasting realm. How could she be someone who feared death, having fought her way up from a lower realm? Moreover, the violet mysterious heaven was the foundation and heritage of the Su family, even more important than Heavenly Origin City. It was a small world that could be moved, the hope for the Su family's resurgence. The Su family could abandon all their other industries, but not this small world. It should be known that back then, in order to compete for this small world, Su Changsheng had killed several peak everlasting realm overlords, staining the heavens and earth with blood, shaking the land for tens of thousands of miles. Su Qingge would never sit idly by and let the Gu family take away the violet mysterious heaven. Even if it meant fighting to the death, she would not hesitate. Then let's fight. Just as the group of elders were filled with anger and excitement, a calm voice sounded in the hall. The Su family doesn't provoke trouble, but we're not afraid of trouble. The next second, Su Yun and the 5 grand elders all widened their eyes. their expressions were filled with joy. Flylu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards for readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab the top up now. Activity period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 49 Tribulations Secret Codex is against the sky. Su family will become Emperor clan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This sound. They are really familiar. That is Ancestor Changsheng, the pillar of the Su family, an invincible ruler of eternity. If it were ordinary elders, they might be unfamiliar. After all, Su Changsheng has been in seclusion for hundreds of years. In addition, during the 2000 years before his seclusion, he was constantly fighting outside, competing for opportunities, like a dragon appearing and disappearing. Therefore, many elders in the family have actually never seen Ancestor Changsheng, but the 5 supreme elders have always risen with Su Changsheng. Even Su Yun, the clan leader, although a generation lower, has lived for 3,000 years and has met Su Changsheng many times, so he is naturally very familiar. They immediately recognized it. This sound is Ancestor Changsheng, who has been in seclusion for hundreds of years. Ancestor Changsheng has come out of seclusion. Whose voice is this? Why does it sound familiar? The clan leader and the others seem excited. Could it be that Ancestor Changsheng has come out of seclusion? Ancestor Changsheng. The elders looked at each other, but they are not fools either. The weakest among them are strong in the empty void realm. From the reactions of the clan leader and others, combined with that mysterious voice, they understood, that it is highly likely that Ancestor Changsheng has come out of seclusion. Soon, in the void, a slender figure walked out. His black hair flowed like a waterfall, his crown was tied, his appearance was flawless and handsome, and his eyes sparkled. He was wearing a robe adorned with stars scattered between the sleeves, and starlight faintly visible. He stepped on Qilin boots, his fingers slender like jade, exuding a constant sense of spirituality. There was an unparalleled elegance. Just standing there, he seemed like the center of the world, exuding a majestic vitality, as profound as the blood of heaven and earth, instantly attracting everyone's attention. Ancestor Changsheng, seeing the arrival, clan leader Su Yun and the several supreme elders stared, their faces filled with ecstatic joy. They knew that before his seclusion, although Ancestor Changsheng still had a youthful and handsome appearance, his hair was white, and in the eyes of strong individuals, they could vaguely sense a hint of twilight, that has nothing to do with appearance. Even a youthful appearance cannot hide the withering of one's vitality, because that is the impact brought by the passage of time, the traces of years, like the setting sun, shining brightly but unable to conceal its decline. But now, Ancestor Changsheng, with his black hair flowing like a waterfall, full of vitality, like a clear and young man, gives them a completely different feeling, no longer like a setting sun, but like a rising sun at its peak, radiant and full of vigor, with infinite possibilities. Such a huge transformation can only mean one thing: Ancestor Changsheng has made a breakthrough. He has become a saint. Brother Changsheng, could it be, you succeeded? Su Qing's eyes turned red as she looked at Su Changsheng's handsome face, and even her originally cold voice trembled slightly. The group of elders, seeing the excitement of the several grand elders and the clan leader, looked at each other in confusion. They did not know the true reason for Su Changsheng's seclusion, but in the next moment, the words spoken by Su Changsheng made their hearts wrench and their minds go blank. Yes, I have become a saint, Su Changsheng said calmly, his gaze deep as he looked at Su Qing, whose eyes were red, and gave a faint smile. And also, how can you still cry like a child when you're already grown up? Brother, upon hearing this, Su Qing's pretty face turned slightly red, unable to help but scold, as if she had returned to her youth. Then, a divine light flickered on her face, quickly returning to normal, cold, pure, and sacred, inviolable. Hiss. Chang. Ancestor Changsheng has become a saint. 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 Could it be that our Su family has finally produced a saint? A saint. With a lifespan of 50,000 years, it is enough for the Su family to rise to a top-grade power, expanding its influence to the surrounding continents, no longer limited to one continent. In the future, there is hope to become an ancient clan. Ancient clan. Our Su family actually has the hope of becoming a prestigious family in one realm for 10,000 generations. A group of elders were extremely excited, and many couldn't help but let out low roars, unable to contain their wild joy. They understood all too well the terror of a saint. What is an ancient clan? It is a clan that has existed for countless generations, with a saint king presiding over them, more than 10 saints, and a history of over 100,000 years. They can be called an ancient clan. Now that they have Su Changsheng, this saint, although it is still far away, there is a slight possibility for the Su family to become an ancient clan. What a great honor this is. Several elders, including clan chief Su Yun, were all excited in their hearts. The Su family is finally going to rise. Oh right, Ancestor Changsheng, the Gu family is currently attacking the violet mysterious heaven. We ask for the ancestors' help to kill the enemy. Clan chief Su Yun was also excited, but thinking about the threat from the Gu family, he quickly reported it. I am aware of the situation of the Su family. Since the Gu family is so unscrupulous, then the Su family will accompany them to the end. Hearing this, Su Changsheng's expression remained unchanged. He flicked his finger and continued to analyze. That old fellow from the Gu family is very cautious. He dares to be so arrogant, fearing that he has obtained a great opportunity. Perhaps he has gained the support of some major power. But since he hasn't completely torn his face, he wants to annihilate the Su family in one fell swoop. I suppose he is wary of me. Based on this speculation, the strength of the Gu family may have greatly increased, but it has not reached the point of sweeping everything. The opportunity behind them may not be so exaggerated, otherwise, they would have been unscrupulous long ago. In this case, although the Gu family is powerful, it shouldn't be difficult to annihilate them. The consequences after their annihilation should also be within a controllable range. Since that's the case, let's make a move. Annihilate the Gu family. Speaking up to this point, Su Changsheng smiled faintly, but within that smile, there was a chilling intent. He has roamed the true Saint continent for thousands of years, even venturing into the nearby continents. His reputation is renowned, known as the Starfall King. Naturally, he is a decisive figure when it comes to killing. Since the Gu family dares to court death and make a move against the Su family, they shouldn't blame him for wiping them out in return. Even if the Gu family has some tricks up their sleeve, Su Changsheng is not afraid. During these months of seclusion, he did more than just break through to become a saint. With the help of the good fortune pill, he not only healed all his injuries, but also broke through to become a saint with the residual medicinal power of the good fortune pill and the Saint Dao fruit. Furthermore, with 3,000 years of cultivation, he has now reached the cultivation level of the fourth heaven of saint. In addition, the 9 Tribulations secret Codex is also an unparalleled secret scripture, its value far surpassing that of the Saint Dao fruit. This is also something that Su Changsheng discovered to be extraordinary after his cultivation. Although it is only the first part, only 1/3, its effect is incredibly extraordinary, able to amplify one's own strength, primordial spirit, physique, divine ability, and so on, tenfold. This is a comprehensive tenfold amplification. He suspects that this is a fragment of an unparalleled divine scripture, far more valuable than his cultivation of the Starfall scripture, but unfortunately, this is not a cultivation technique, but a secret technique that can only be used to enhance one's strength and cannot be used as a cultivation technique. But even so, it is extremely terrifying. Once the 9 Tribulations secret Codex is displayed, Su Changsheng's strength will skyrocket to an extremely terrifying level. He can battle even the 9th heaven of saint and easily tear apart anyone below the 7th heaven. It can be said that in the true saint continent, and even the surrounding continents, except for a few dominant forces, he can act without restraint. Even those dominant forces would not easily offend a saint with immeasurable potential and astonishing combat power. Gather the strong members of the Su family, prepare to annihilate the Gu family, and by the way, take over their territory. In the future, the Su family will continue to expand and rise, becoming an ancient clan in one region, or even an emperor clan. An immortal clan. Su Changsheng looked at the shocked crowd and declared in an indifferent tone. He didn't say the last 2 words, but even so, it was enough to shock everyone. P.S. New book seeking data, seeking flowers, reviews, and monthly tickets. Feilu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Get 500 VIP points for every 100 recharge. Grab it now, activity period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 5 Gu Qingge, Empress of Destiny Reborn. Innate Chaotic Road Tire. You are listening at Novelful.audio. Emperor Clan. Upon hearing Gu Changsheng's words, everyone's breath was momentarily held, shocked by the ambition of the ancestor. However, they did not voice their doubts. After thousands of years of influence, Gu Changsheng's prestige in the Su family was truly godlike. All members of the Su family believed in him and worshipped him fanatically, regardless of whether the Su family could become an emperor clan. They firmly believed that Gu Changsheng could lead the Su family to rise and dominate the true Saint continent. Yes, Su Yun's heart was filled with excitement as he spoke with fervor. Soon, he would leave the main hall to gather the strong members of the Su family and attack the Gu family. Since they were going to battle, they would go all out. Prepare yourselves. Everyone will be mobilized. In this battle, those who kill enemies and achieve meritorious deeds will receive rewards 10 times greater. If any of you can kill 1 or 2 ancient cultivators, I will personally take action to obtain 10 times the amount of empty void pills, Myriad Tribulations pills, or an equivalent amount of cultivation resources for you. Gu Changsheng looked at the elders with a calm tone. Empty void pill. Myriad Tribulations pill. 10 times the rewards. Upon hearing this, the elders' breathing became rapid, and they were filled with excitement. Even the several supreme elders couldn't help but feel a tremor in their hearts. Empty void pill and Myriad Tribulations pill, these were the pills needed for cultivators to break through the realms of the empty void realm and the everlasting realm. Both were of the 6th grade and 7th grade, extremely precious. There were still some 6th grade empty void pills in the clan, occasionally used for strategic purposes. But the Myriad Tribulations pill was different. In the vast Su family, there were only 3 pills. They were the foundation and would only be used when the clan was declining and needed new everlasting realm cultivators to stabilize the situation. And now, Su Jia actually said that he would reward them with 10 times the amount of empty void pills and Myriad Tribulations pills. It should be noted that empty void pills and Myriad Tribulations pills were not only used to break through major realms but could also be used to break through minor realms. For a cultivator at the first level of the everlasting realm, if there were 50 Myriad Tribulations pills, it would be completely possible to rapidly break through to the 9th level of the everlasting realm and make a breakthrough toward semi-saint within 10 years. The reason why 50 pills are needed is because the resistance to the medicine increases as one progresses, requiring more Myriad Tribulations pills. Of course, generally speaking, cultivators would not be foolish enough to use Myriad Tribulations pills to make breakthroughs in their cultivation. This can be completely replaced with an equivalent amount of resources, which would be enough to cultivate to the level of a saint. The entire Su family, with its accumulated wealth over thousands of years, probably only has around 70 to 80 Myriad Tribulations pills. However, they do not doubt the authenticity of Gu Changsheng's words. Jokingly, Gu Changsheng is a saint, a revered ancestor. How could he deceive them? Thank you, Ancestor Changsheng. We will do our utmost to kill the enemy and serve the Su family. For a moment, all the elders were excited and spoke one after another, completely devoid of their usual composure. Even Su Qingge, the cold and noble supreme elder, was breathing slightly faster and couldn't help but be moved. She is currently at the 5th level of the everlasting realm. If she were to cultivate normally, without any accidents, even if she died of old age, she would never be able to reach the level of a saint, but with a large amount of resources, she would have a chance to make a breakthrough towards saint. Once she becomes a saint, she will undergo a transformation and gain a lifespan of 50,000 years. That would be a whole new world. With these thoughts in mind, Su Qingge's gaze became firm. Young descendants of the Su family, now, the Gu family has gone too far, plundering our Su family's properties and killing our Su family's geniuses and strong individuals, step by step forcing our Su family. Now, they have attacked our Su family's small world, the violet mysterious heaven, which is the foundation of our Su family. We cannot afford to lose it, but now they are attacking it. It is obvious that the Gu family wants to annihilate us and leave no way out for the Su family. Young descendants of the Su family, what do you think we should do? On a square of the Su family, spanning hundreds of miles, where the Su family members usually train and cultivate. It is extremely vast and now gathered hundreds of thousands of people. They are all direct descendants of the Su family. Each one of them has cultivation, with the lowest being at the Qi Si realm, and these are only the main branch members. In addition, there are many branch members supporting various industries outside. This is the profound heritage and terrifying power possessed by a first-class force that rules over a vast land of 10,000 miles. At this moment, Su Yun is above the square, gathering a group of elders and roaring passionately. Under the divine power of the everlasting realm, the sound resonates for thousands of miles, echoing throughout the Su family territory and even the entire heavenly origin city. Kill! 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 Destroy the Gu family. Su family is invincible. Kill! 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 Destroy the Gu family. Su family is invincible. Tens of thousands of Su family members roar, all of them cultivators, and the terrifying sound waves shake the heavens, dispersing the clouds in the sky. Such a terrifying momentum would make even an ordinary everlasting realm venerable tremble. For a while, Heavenly Origin City trembles. Heavenly Origin City is extremely vast, spanning thousands of miles. It is more like a dynasty than a city-state. It is a massive city composed of countless cultivators and mortals, ruled by the Su family, but also home to countless foreign cultivators and forces. This ensures the circulation of resources. At this moment, countless cultivators and forces in Heavenly Origin City are shocked by the commotion in the Su family's territory. Good, worthy of being the descendants of the Su family. Since that's the case, let's set off to the violet mysterious heaven, eliminate all enemies, and then exterminate the Gu family. Su Yun laughs heartily, then waves his hand. The elders behind him step forward, each with their own responsibilities, and begin to command the Su family members. Woo-woo. Not long after, the ancient and heavy sound of horns resounds. These are the true dragon horns of the Su family, capable of shaking the land for thousands of miles when blown. Clang clang clang. Flags with the character Su appear one after another. Dong dong dong. In addition, the hidden grotto heavens, mountain peaks, and various secret places of the Su family all have chariots and warships appearing. Various colossal beasts roar, stepping on golden light, driven by knights with cold eyes and wielding long spears. Batches of soldiers wearing black armor appear, all of them cultivators. They march in a mighty and imposing manner, like a black torrent, led by the knights, resembling true dragons, intimidating all directions. Kill, kill, kill. Roaring sounds echoed one after another. Not just millions of troops appeared. This is the hidden strength of the Su family, accumulated over thousands of years of military training. Generation after generation, they spared no expense, and once unleashed, it was enough to shake the world. Hiss, has the Su family gone mad? They actually emptied their nest. They are preparing for a life-or-death battle with the Gu family. They don't even plan to defend their stronghold. Aren't they afraid of being looted? It seems that the Gu family has truly pushed the Su family to a dead end. Even their hidden forces have been mobilized. No wonder they are a family cultivated by the Starfall King. This kind of army is not inferior to top-grade forces or even the legions of those ancient clans. Unfortunately, the numbers are too few. If they had 100 million, they might be able to fight against the ancient clans. Even so, the Su family cannot possibly be a match for the Gu family. The strength of the Gu family is not as simple as it appears. Within Heavenly Origin City, the powerful individuals from various forces watched these scenes with shock, doubt, or disdain. They were all powerful individuals from different forces, well informed about the situation. They knew that the Gu family was not simple, and the Su family was far inferior in comparison. Su Yun, the clan leader, and even the group of elders did not care about the reactions of the various forces in Heavenly Origin City. In their view, with the presence of Ancestor Changsheng, anyone who dared to invade the Su family at this time was seeking death. At this moment, Su Changsheng, who was expected by everyone, had a strange expression on his face, because the system actually gave him a prompt. Ding, detected that the Gu family has a daughter of destiny with a purple gold fate. Gu Qingge, Empress of Destiny, reborn with purple gold luck, with extraordinary future achievements. currently just awakened. It is recommended to marry her. Ding, detected that the Su family has a daughter of destiny with a purple gold, fate, Su Ziyuan, innate primordial origin Dao fetus, reincarnation Dao pupil, with purple gold luck, not yet awakened. It is recommended to marry her. 2 consecutive prompts, and they were both, purple gold, level fate, which was even more abnormal than a divine body. Even a divine body only had a red level fate, and even then, there were only a few in the entire continent. Could it be that I am the chosen one? Su Changsheng couldn't help but touch his chin, feeling a bit strange in his heart. Otherwise, why would he just be preparing to annihilate the Gu family, and then the Empress of Destiny would come knocking on his door? Flyover's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards for readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab it now. Promotion period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 6 Obediently give me a baby, you want to bully the big with the small. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The reincarnation of the Heavens Mandate Empress. This is definitely the protagonist template, or even the template for a major female lead. Su Changsheng's eyes flickered, the Heavens Mandate Empress, this is extraordinary. In this fantasy world, cultivators dare not casually claim the title of emperor. Those who dare to call themselves emperors are either great emperors or on the verge of reaching the realm of great emperor. This Heaven's Mandate Empress, before her reincarnation, was most likely a female great emperor. The significance of this is immense. Such an existence, ruling over countless divine realms, is enough to establish an emperor clan that will be remembered for eternity, or even an imperial court. Just like the everlasting imperial court and the crimson blood imperial court that currently rule over the everlasting heaven realm, one can imagine the terror of a great emperor, a reincarnated empress. If she doesn't have a system, Su Changsheng would not provoke such a monster. Once this child of destiny awakens, with luck on her side, her cultivation speed will be terrifyingly fast, surpassing him in no time. Su Changsheng doesn't want to be seen as an old guy who gives away gold coins. However, in the current situation, Empress, you better obediently bear me a child. Su Changsheng smiled. If it's a Heaven's Mandate Empress who has already risen, he naturally has no intention of provoking her, as he simply can't afford it. But a recently reincarnated Heaven's Mandate Empress who is still weak, well, she can't blame him for taking advantage of her. However, who is this Su Ziyuan? How can her talent be so terrifying, comparable to a reincarnated Empress? Could it be that my Su family has incredible luck? However, soon after, Su Changsheng frowned. You see, Gu Qingge is a reincarnated Empress. When a reincarnated Empress returns, how terrifying will her achievements be in the future? At least surpassing her past life. And this Su Ziyuan from the Su family, who can actually rival the Empress, that means her future achievements won't be inferior to Gu Qingge. That is truly frightening. The Su family has risen for thousands of years, and he knows most of the geniuses and monsters in the clan, but the most talented ones are far from possessing a divine body, which doesn't catch Su Changsheng's attention. But this Su Ziyuan is monstrously talented, innate primordial origin Dao fetus, everlasting Dao pupil. Although Su Changsheng has never heard of these two physiques, even with just a little thought, he knows that they are absolutely terrifying physiques. At least it is a sacred body level, a peerless monster with 2 sacred body level constitutions combined. Perhaps this is not a stroke of great luck, but a disaster. Su Changsheng felt strange in his heart. As a transmigrator, Su Changsheng has read many fantasy novels. He knows that these chosen ones, although blessed with great luck, often need to make sacrifices in order to awaken, for example, their loved ones, or their families, just like this time, the Gu family's attack. If Su Changsheng, who has not yet broken through, relies solely on his current strength, he is likely unable to withstand the invasion of the Gu family. At that time, the Su family will be wiped out, and Su Ziyuan, without any surprises, will escape the threat of annihilation. In the midst of extreme grief, she will activate her destined luck, and her constitution will awaken one after another, soaring to new heights. Of course, as the price, the entire Su family will naturally be sacrificed. At the thought of this, Su Changsheng's mouth twitched. He didn't want to be a stepping stone for the chosen one. And following the system's suggestion to take the other party as a concubine would be a bit perverse. After all, they share the same surname, Su. Forget it, let's deal with Gu Qingge first before discussing this woman. That at the same time, under the leadership of many elders, the Su family's army and experts also used the power of the teleportation array to head towards the violet mysterious heaven thousands of miles away. Seeing this, Su Changsheng didn't hesitate and took a step forward, following them. Before leaving, he snorted lightly, causing a burst of holy aura to resound in the minds of many experts in Heavenly Origin City. It was like thunder tearing through the sky, making everyone's mind go blank and almost causing them to vomit blood. The Su family has produced a saint. At this moment, the hearts of the experts from various forces were filled with shock and fear, and their backs went cold. On the other side, thousands of miles away, a terrifying battle erupted in an extremely secretive ancient place. Divine light filled the sky here, various divine abilities and law treasures flickered, and numerous figures fought fiercely, almost shattering the entire world. At the end of that ancient place, a small world was faintly visible. Divine light shimmered within it, radiance flowed, and spiritual mist surged, as enchanting as an immortal world. Violet mysterious heaven, this is a small world, also known as a plane. Such small worlds are opened up by saints and can exist independently in a cycle, with abundant spiritual energy. They are a standard configuration for top-tier forces. Generally speaking, top powers do not have small worlds. This violet mysterious heaven of the Su family was forcibly obtained by Su Changsheng from a secret realm, and he even killed many ancient venerables in the process. This small world is also the guarantee of the Su family. Even if the main family is exterminated, as long as the remaining members of the Su family in violet mysterious heaven escape with this small world, the Su family can still rise again. But the actions of the Gu family this time are aimed at destroying this guarantee of the Su family. This is also why the elders of the Su family are furious and even willing to fight to the death. Once violet mysterious heaven is gone, the Su family will be trapped and unable to escape or defeat the Gu family. They can only be besieged by the Gu family and eventually face destruction. Kill. Damn Gu family, are you trying to have a life-and-death battle with the Su family? Aren't you afraid of the blame from our clan leader and ancestors? Gu family, you have gone too far. That at this moment, at the entrance of violet mysterious heaven's small world, a group of powerful members of the Su family are fighting fiercely, their clothes stained with blood, constantly roaring in anger. In addition, there are two purple-robed elders, both ancient venerables who have stayed behind in the small world. They are using the power of formations to resist the 5 ancient venerables from the Gu family. For a while, various terrifying divine lights shine, causing the heavens and earth to tremble, space to shatter, and terrifying spatial rifts to tear open one after another. Gu Qingge, you old man, how dare your Gu family do this? Aren't you afraid of being exterminated by our clan leader? One of the purple-robed elders angrily shouts. He held a purple golden halberd in his hand, with a swirling aura and countless rules and orders following closely behind. He continuously swung it, unleashing a torrent of divine power, as he confronted 2 ancient venerables. Soahi, you are too naive. Do you really think your clan's eternal ancestor is invincible? Hehe, the Su family is destined to disappear. The Gu family is the true ruler of this land. That the venerable who was opposing him was named Gu Qingge, the supreme elder of the Gu family. At this moment, he had a smile on his lips, calm and composed, as he joined forces with another ancient venerable to suppress Soahi. Humph, never mind whether that old fellow Su Changsheng can safely come out of seclusion. Even if he does, so what? With a single finger, our Gu family's ancestor can kill him. That the other ancient venerable sneered. Upon hearing this, Soahi felt a chill in his heart. He wasn't a fool, and he couldn't help but think of the Gu family's recent unrestrained expansion. Could it be that the Gu family's ancestor had broken through to the Saint Realm? Boom! On the other side, the 2 everlasting realm venerables of the Gu family made their move. They emitted a blazing divine light all over their bodies, like 2 suns descending, with a dazzling radiance that reached thousands of zhang. With a wave of their hands, they crushed one Su family powerhouse after another into powder. Even peak experts of the empty void realm couldn't withstand a casual strike from them. For a while, at the entrance of the violet mysterious heaven, this land was stained with the blood of the Su family. and the corpses of Su family powerhouses were everywhere. Ah! Gu family, you will pay for this. Venerable from the Su family witnessed this scene, his eyes turning red and roaring in anger. However, they were all blocked by their respective opponents. 2 against 5 was already their limit. Even with the power of the formation, they were completely at a disadvantage. Pooh! Cough cough cough. The 5 venerables were ruthless. Under the attack of their divine abilities, the 2 elders from the Su family kept spitting out blood. The entrance to the violet mysterious heaven was filled with various extraordinary formations that could hold off a semi-saint for a period of time, but at this moment, under the continuous bombardment from the Gu family's experts, it was already on the verge of collapse. Seeing this scene, the remaining strong members of the Su family who were still resisting all felt despair. In the shadows of the Gu family's experts, 2 figures were hidden in the void. One of them was surrounded by chaotic mist, radiating a terrifying aura. The other figure was a middle-aged man with a dignified expression, respectfully bowing half of his body, showing a respectful demeanor. He was the patriarch of the Gu family, Gu Qingge. Elder, the undercover agent from Heavenly Origin City has sent intelligence. The strong members of the Su family have come out in full force, preparing for a decisive battle with us. At this moment, Gu Qingge raised his eyebrows, somewhat surprised by the news from the undercover agent, but still reported to the figure surrounded by chaotic mist. Is there any news about Su Changsheng? The patriarch of the Gu family asked softly. Elder, there is none. That person should still be in seclusion, probably trying to break through to the saint realm. Gu Qingge shook his head. Su Changsheng had been in seclusion for hundreds of years. How could the Gu family, as their old rival, not investigate? Naturally, they could guess his intentions. It seems that I am still one step ahead after all. Hearing this, the patriarch of the Gu family sneered. Since that brat Su Changsheng is unwilling to show himself, then let's annihilate the Su family. Since they have chosen to come out in full force, let's keep them all, the patriarch of the Gu family casually said. Perfect, this land doesn't need the Su family. Only the Gu family is enough. Flylu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab it now. Activity period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 7 Gu Family Tianjiao, Divine Body plus Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone, please help the ancestors. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yes, the head of the Gu family was filled with excitement. If the Su family were to be destroyed, the Gu family would be able to swallow up the entire Su family's industry and the vast land of 10,000 miles in one go. This is not a simple territory. The vast territory ruled by the Su family is home to a large number of cultivator cities, with a population of billions, as well as countless mineral veins, industries, resources, and so on. If they were able to merge, the power of the Gu family would definitely expand several times over, and even rise to the top-tier forces, and as the patriarch, he would naturally gain a lot of benefits. In his lifetime, he might even be able to challenge a saint. All of this is thanks to you, Honor. If it weren't for him, I, as an old man, would not have been able to break through to the saint level, and the power of the Gu family would not have grown so much. The Gu family ancestor said softly, his eyes shining with a bright light, filled with satisfaction. All of the Gu family's achievements today are all because of his favorite descendant. After hiding him for so many years, he has finally lived up to his expectations. All of this is thanks to the ancestors' efforts. If it weren't for your efforts, you Honor would not have caught the attention of that person and become the true disciple of the sacred land. The head of the Gu family was also filled with excitement. Gu Hao, this is his child, and also the super genius born in the Gu family, a divine body. However, the relationship with the divine body is too significant. In order to avoid premature death, they have always hidden it and never revealed it. It was not until recently that the Gu family ancestor exhausted all his resources and introduced Gu Hao to the elder of the sacred land, and finally caught the attention of a powerful figure and became a true disciple. Therefore, the Gu family was able to rise rapidly. Yuan not only possesses the divine body, but also has the myriad tribulations Dao Bone. With both of these sacred bodies, his future achievements are unimaginable. Perhaps our Gu family can become a sacred clan. The Gu family ancestors' eyes revealed anticipation, as well as a deep hidden greed. The sacred clan is a super family that is on par with the sacred land, surpassing the ancient clan. All of this is thanks to the ancestors' cultivation. If it weren't for the ancestor, how could Yuan have risen so rapidly? The head of the Gu family laughed. By the way, have the people from that lineage been taken care of? At this moment, the Gu family ancestor asked again, his tone calm. Upon hearing this, the head of the Gu family felt a chill in his heart and responded cautiously, "That's good. Although it's tough on that child, for the sake of Yuan and the future of the Gu family, we have no choice but to sacrifice them." The Gu family ancestor sighed, seemingly pitying, and said, "All of this is for the family. The sacrifice of the old 9th generation is worth it. If it were my child, I would also offer them to the family without hesitation." The head of the Gu family spoke righteously. The Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone is useless in the hands of a woman. It's better to give it to Yuan and let him lead the Gu family to soar to new heights. Alas, since the old 9th generation can't see this, we can only sacrifice their lineage. The Gu family ancestor nodded in satisfaction. Kill. Gu family brat, dare to offend our Su family's territory, you shall die. Kill all the thieves of the Gu family, the Su family is invincible. The Su family's men, we've come to support you. Hold on. Not just then, hundreds of miles away from the ancient land, teleportation gates opened one after another. Within them, ancient war chariots and massive warships appeared, causing the void to rumble. Boom, boom, boom. In addition, a vast black torrent appeared. It was the Su family's army, a terrifying legion consisting of hundreds of thousands of Su family members. Leading them were dozens of Su family elders, each exuding a formidable aura. They were all at the peak of law manifestation and empty void realm, with 6 everlasting realm venerables among them. With so many powerful individuals, the world suddenly became crowded, as if the mountains and seas were overturning, and the heavens and earth were tilting. The overwhelming blood energy and terrifying aura shook the entire battlefield. The invading Gu family experts couldn't help but change their expressions and tremble in fear. So many troops, such a terrifying military force. How can the Su family's legion be so terrifying? It's much scarier than my Gu family's Crimson Armor army. Is this the legion cultivated by the Starfall King? A group of strong individuals from the Gu family, those empty void realm experts, and several powerful everlasting realm experts, all wore extremely cautious expressions at this moment. They remembered Su Changsheng, the Starfall King who once dominated the true Saint continent. Is this the legion he cultivated? Even the several venerables who had lived for countless ages felt a tingling sensation on their scalps when faced with the Black Legion that resembled a torrent, and they dared not confront it head-on. Legions in the fantasy world are not that simple. If they formed a battle formation, they could gather the power of all the soldiers and multiply it by 10. Once unleashed, it would be enough to cross borders and sweep away all the strong opponents. What a terrifying legion. That the Gu family patriarch's expression also changed. He never expected that the Su family would hide such a horrifying power. No wonder the ancestor had been patient and hadn't rushed to exterminate the Su family. Indeed, Su Changsheng is impressive. Unfortunately, if it were before, this old man might have been wary, but now. The Gu family ancestor's expression was indifferent. With his current strength, it would be enough to wipe out this group of Su family experts with a flick of his hand. The difference between the Saint realm and the non-saints was not in the same realm at all. He could easily annihilate hundreds or even thousands of everlasting realm experts with a snap of his fingers. Very well, the reinforcements from my Su family have arrived. You thieves from the Gu family, get ready to die. Ha ha ha, the patriarch is mighty. That within the violet mysterious heaven, a group of Su family experts saw this scene and their faces were filled with wild joy, unable to help but burst into laughter. Their hearts, which were once filled with despair, were now filled with hope. It's over. Su He's face darkened. Compared to the excited crowd, he felt a sense of unease in his heart, because he saw Gu Qingge's expression, completely indifferent, as if everything was under control. This made his heart tremble. Could it be that everything was part of the Gu family's plan? The Su family is finished. Gu Qingge chuckled lightly, struck out with a blow, collided with Su He, and then flew out with the tremendous force of the recoil, leaving the battlefield. Not only him, but the other 6 venerables who were engaged in battle also left the battlefield and appeared in the sky, overlooking everyone. Seeing this scene, a group of strong members of the Su family were somewhat confused. Could it be that the strong members of the Gu family were afraid and ready to escape? Su Yun, I didn't expect you to come in person. How come you're not guarding your stronghold? Aren't you afraid that the foundation of the Su family will be uprooted? In the void, the head of the Gu family appeared. He looked at the group of Su family troops coming to kill, as well as the elders and Su Yun who led them, and couldn't help but smile faintly. Head of the Gu family, you old thing actually came too. How come you're not afraid to stay here? On the other side, Su Yun, who led the strong members of the Su family, was also greatly surprised when he saw this scene. The head of the Gu family actually came in person. Could it be that they were so confident in wiping out the Su family? Head, no need to waste words with them. Form a formation, wipe out these strong members of the Gu family, and then go and destroy the Gu family. A supreme elder beside them said with a murderous intent. Because of Su Changsheng's promise, all the elders of the Su family at this moment were eager to fight, wishing to kill 1 or 2 strong members of the same level. Originally I only planned to conquer this small world and slowly destroy the Su family, but since you've all come out in full force, then you can all stay here. The head of the Gu family said with a faint smile. It was a confident and composed posture that made the group of Su family elders, including Su Yun, feel a chill in their hearts. Sure enough, the Gu family had terrifying trump cards. Please, ancestor, make a move. Just as the Su family members were apprehensive, the head of the Gu family slightly bowed, facing a certain void, and said respectfully. A calm voice sounded. Flylu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab the top up now. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 8 thought there was going to be a big fight, one hand squeezed to death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom. A tremendous holy aura suddenly descended. This world, the entire violet mysterious heaven small world, and even the surrounding tens of thousands of miles, at this moment, all plunged into an endless storm, as if an ocean was falling down. The heavens and earth lost their color. This is not an exaggeration. With this holy aura, the entire heavens and earth lost their colors at this moment. Only a figure appeared, surrounded by endless divine light and chaotic mist. He was like a sun, illuminating this world. Saint. The strong members of the Su family all changed their expressions. At this moment, whether it was the terrifying Black Legion or the hundreds of thousands of Su family members, they all felt like small boats in the ocean, on the verge of capsizing. Their faces turned pale, their souls on the verge of shattering. This is the power of a saint. Even if it's just the pressure, it is enough to crush those who are not saints. The venerables of the everlasting realm, even if there were 10,000 of them, would only be swept away and killed when facing a saint, even if the saint had just ascended. The patriarch is invincible. Su Yun, feeling desperate. This is the true power of our Gu family patriarch. In the presence of a saint, you all should kneel and worship. That the 7 everlasting realm experts of the Gu family, including the Gu family patriarch, all burst into laughter. Their arrogant voices echoed through the heavens and earth. It's over. The Su family is finished. He closed his eyes in pain. As expected, the Gu family patriarch had truly broken through to become a saint. Facing such a terrifying existence, the strong members of the Su family, even if they were 10 times more numerous, would only be slapped to death with a single palm. A saint? It's actually a saint. How is this possible? How could the Gu family have a saint? Could today be the day of the Su family's destruction? Not only Su He and the others, but also the members of the Su family who had come with the elders, were trembling in their hearts, filled with fear and unable to catch their breath. Even the Su family's legion, those cold and ruthless black-armored soldiers, were sweating profusely at this moment, their hands holding their guns trembling, no longer steady. Only Su Yun and others remained calm, because they knew that Changsheng Laozu had also become a saint and was not afraid of Gu family Laozu. He actually became a saint. Su Yun's cold sweat flowed, secretly grateful that Changsheng Laozu came out of seclusion in time, otherwise Su family would have been destroyed today. A pseudo-saint, Su Changsheng, who had been following all along, also looked at Gu family Laozu with interest. Also a saint, he could see Gu family Laozu's state at a glance. It was not his own breakthrough, but the use of some external force to forcefully break through, and it was flawed, not a complete set of Saint Dao principles. Compared to a true saint, this kind of pseudo-saint was slightly weaker in strength, and moreover, the upper limit of this kind of saint was already fixed and could never be surpassed. Therefore, it was called a pseudo-saint. Of course, wiping out Su family would still be easy, even without the breakthrough of Su Changsheng before. Faced with Gu family Laozu in front of him, he would not be able to escape death. No wonder the Son of Luck needs to be sacrificed for awakening. This calamity is the proof. Su Changsheng sighed, if it weren't for the appearance of the system, both Su family and he would have a hard time surviving this calamity, and they would basically be doomed, and all of this was the driving force behind the awakening of the destined daughter in the clan. Kneel down and submit. In the void, Gu family Laozu was enveloped in boundless divine light, like a blazing sun, dazzling and impossible to look directly at. That endless majesty was like a divine king. At this moment, he pronounced his judgment. The entire world, including all the strong members of Su family, felt an irresistible force descending. All the strong members knelt down on both knees, about to fall to the ground. No. Su Yun's face turned red, wanting to forcibly stop it, but he couldn't resist the authority of a saint. Boom. Just at this moment, a tremendous power erupted. Not far away, above Su Qing's head, a broken four-layer pagoda emitted a majestic saintly aura, blocking the authority of Gu family Laozu. All the strong members of Su family also felt their bodies relax and no longer wanted to kneel down. The children of my Su family only die standing, not living on their knees. Old thing from Gu family, it's absolutely impossible for my Su family to submit to you. Su Qing shouted in a stern voice. She stood under the ancient four-layered pagoda, her dress fluttering, her face cold and beautiful, like a celestial being. Although she was just an ordinary woman, at this moment, she burst forth with astonishing elegance. Yes, the Su family's children can only die standing, not live kneeling. Even if you are a saint, I will still fight. Kill. Su Yun and several elders also let out a roar, fully unleashing their power in the everlasting realm, ready to confront the saint head-on. Kill. The million-strong army and hundreds of thousands of clan members also shouted in unison, attacking together. A broken holy weapon and a group of ants, who gave you the courage. The ancestor of the Gu family's expression turned cold, and his eyes, shrouded in chaotic mist, flickered with a cold light. He had been quite satisfied with his grand entrance, wanting to use the saint's prestige to subdue the strong members of the Su family and satisfy his vanity. Commonly known as showing off, but he didn't expect that the strong members of the Su family would completely disregard his face, especially that woman, who was audacious and provocative towards the dignity of the saint. Let me show you the difference between you and the saint. The ancestor of the Gu family remained indifferent. With a single finger, it seemed as if the finger of the heavens was pressing down. The spiritual energy within tens of thousands of miles instantly surged and turned into a mighty divine force, crashing down. Boom. Just a single finger, the entire sky was pierced with a hole, the order of the divine chains shattered, and the combined attack of the many strong members of the Su family, including the power of a broken holy weapon, was wiped out by this finger. That terrifying power was enough to instantly annihilate more than 10 everlasting realms. If it weren't for the many strong members of the Su family sharing the burden, even the elders of the everlasting realm would have been pierced to death. But even so, many strong members of the Su family were coughing up blood and heavily injured. Ha ha ha, the ancestor is invincible. The strong members of the Gu family laughed heartily. Since you are so stubborn, then let's all die together. The ancestor of the Gu family shook his head. In the next second, he was about to strike again, intending to kill all the strong members of the Su family. since he didn't cherish the opportunity given to him, he can't blame others for being heartless. Ah, I finally see it now. The biggest trump card of the Gu family is just you. I thought we were going to have a big battle, but just then, a sigh sounded. Hearing this familiar voice, the expression of the Gu family ancestor changed, and an endless chill rose in his heart, a strong sense of death surged up. Wan Ling. In that instant, he shouted and was about to unleash his strongest power. Buzz. However, a giant hand that covered the sky suddenly appeared. Countless divine lights flowed within its palm and fingers, surrounded by stars, emitting a terrifying and overwhelming holy aura. This giant hand appeared too quickly, and in an instant, it grabbed the Gu family ancestor and gently squeezed, causing endless blood light to burst forth, boom. The next second, the world changed. In the sky, endless blood rain fell, as if mourning the passing of a saint. The Gu family powerhouses present felt a strong sense of sorrow in their hearts, unable to help but want to shed tears. It was the sorrow of a fallen saint. The Gu family ancestor had fallen, crushed to death by Su Changsheng with a single squeeze. This scene shocked everyone, including the powerhouses who knew Su Changsheng like Su Yun. They never expected that the Gu family ancestor, who had just been full of confidence, with a majestic aura, looking down on everyone and wanting to slap them to death, would be crushed to death by their eternal ancestor like squashing a fly. Ancestor. At this moment, a group of Gu family powerhouses were completely stunned. Flylu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab it now. Promotion period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 9. This land only needs one family. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This. Su Yun widened his eyes. Even though he was the patriarch of the clan and an everlasting realm venerable, he had seen many storms and waves, but this scene still frightened him. Even though their own ancestor Changsheng was very powerful, but the Gu family patriarch, no matter what, was still a saint, right? According to reason, shouldn't they have fought for thousands of rounds, or even for several days and nights, before barely defeating the opponent? How did it end up with just one hand squeezing him to death? Many elders of the Su family were also dumbfounded, finding it unbelievable, a dignified saint, unexpectedly so fragile, being squeezed to death like a little chick by ancestor Changsheng. Old ancestor. The Gu family patriarch trembled as he shouted, feeling his vision darken, almost falling down. Their own ancestor had just recently become a saint, full of spirit and vigor. Originally, they planned to annihilate the Su family, crush the White Cloud dynasty, unify this vast land of hundreds of thousands of miles, and become a top-grade power, even an ancient clan or sacred clan, but in the end, not long after, he was squeezed to death by a mysterious powerhouse with just one hand. It's over. Our ancestor is a saint. How could he possibly fall? This must be fake. Why, Su family, how could they have such a terrifying powerhouse? A group of Gu family experts were also in despair, their faces filled with hopelessness and unwillingness. They no longer had their previous arrogance. Quick, run. The Gu family patriarch shuddered and quickly shouted. This time, in order to exterminate the Su family, they have mobilized most of their clan's forces. As a result, the saint of the Gu family, their ancestor, was crushed to death by a single hand. If they were all to perish here as well, then the Gu family would be finished. Yes, quickly escape, return to the Gu family. A group of powerful individuals from the Gu family also woke up and activated teleportation arrays one after another, wanting to escape from here. As for those weaker clan members, they had already decided to abandon everything and use this as a delay tactic. Buzzing. On the battlefield, beams of divine light intertwined, constructing dazzling teleportation arrays. You want to run? There's no way out. Seeing this scene, Su Yun and the others' gazes turned cold. After killing so many members of the Su family, they still wanted to escape unscathed. Humph! Just as they were about to make a move, a light hum sounded, like a heavy hammer falling, causing even the orderly divine chains to tremble, shaking for thousands of miles in an instant. Boom boom boom, with a loud bang, all the constructed teleportation arrays directly collapsed. All the powerful individuals of the Gu family, including the Gu family patriarch, were struck as if by lightning, their faces turning pale as they coughed up blood. With a light hum, all the powerful individuals of the Gu family were injured. Take action, kill all the powerful individuals of the Gu family, and then, with me, annihilate the Gu family. At this moment, Su Changsheng appeared from the void, standing tall in the sky, overlooking everyone. He was handsome and flawless, exuding a majestic aura like a deity. That's our Su family's ancestor Changsheng. He has already become a saint and was the one who crushed the Gu family saint. Now that ancestor Changsheng has given the order, where are the descendants of the Su family? Seeing this, Su Yun quickly cooperated and decisively shouted, "We're here." All the members of the Su family shouted fervently with an ecstatic expression. "Slay all the strong members of the Gu family." Su Yun roared loudly and personally rushed forward, killing the head of the Gu family. "Ha ha ha, this old man hasn't made a move in 1,000 years. Today, I will behead a Gu family everlasting venerable to satisfy myself." A senior elder from the Su family laughed heartily, wielding his life-bound law weapon. A torrent of purple light surged forth as he attacked a Gu family everlasting venerable. With a single strike, the shockwaves reverberated across the sky for thousands of miles. Boom! 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 A terrifying battle erupted. Kill! Su Qing's face was cold. Above her head, a four-layered pagoda radiated a sacred aura, and in her hand appeared a green sword. The brilliant sword light swept across 3,000 miles, slashing towards three everlasting venerables. She wanted to kill all three of them in one breath. Seeing this scene, the remaining senior elders could only sigh helplessly. Su Qingge had a special status and was also the strongest among them. Since she had taken three, they naturally couldn't compete for them and could only look towards the remaining four everlasting venerables. Boom! In the next second, the four senior elders of the Su family, along with the two everlasting venerables who stayed behind in the violet mysterious heaven, rushed forward and began to besiege the four everlasting realm experts of the Gu family. They had already been heavily injured by Su Changsheng, and now facing a group of fierce Su family experts, they couldn't resist at all and were beaten until they vomited blood. Kill! In addition to the battlefield of the everlasting realm, there were also lower-level battlefields. The Su family's legion displayed a terrifying momentum, transforming into a black dragon that swept through the Gu family's strong members, killing one after another. The remaining members of the Su family also fought against the Gu family's clan members. There were victories and defeats, life and death. For a while, the entire world was filled with the sound of killing, and the terrifying sound waves shook for tens of thousands of miles. Countless forces and independent cultivators were attracted, their gazes filled with shock and fear as they looked over, their minds trembling. Su Changsheng, however, only watched all of this with a calm gaze, without interfering. With his saint-level strength, he could have easily wiped out all the strong members of the Gu family, but he didn't do that. Instead, he left it to the members of the Su family to solve it themselves. Only through the tempering of blood and fire can the Su family transform and grow into an emperor clan, or even an immortal clan. Su Changsheng whispered, "How can the people of the Su family transform without experiencing battles? Even if Su Changsheng can provide them with resources, without going through trials and the tempering of blood and fire, they would just be a group of pigs." Su Changsheng looks down on that. Therefore, Su Changsheng let them fight against the strong members of the Gu family so that they can transform. As time passed, the balance of victory gradually leaned towards the Su family, and the group of strong members from the Gu family couldn't resist. Su Changsheng, just you wait. Someone will avenge the Gu family for me. In the end, as the everlasting realm strong members of the Gu family fell one by one, the furious roar of the Gu family's patriarch was shattered by Su Yun's attack, directly killing his primordial spirit. The battle ended, and the Su family emerged victorious, although they lost some members of their clan. After this battle, all the people of the Su family seemed to have undergone a baptism and became completely different, like a sword that has been tempered 1,000 times. Their sharpness was revealed. Leave some members of the clan and elders to stay in the violet mysterious heaven to clean up the aftermath. The rest will go with me to the Gu family and wipe them out. Just as the Gu family said, one family is enough for this land. Su Changsheng said calmly, "P.S. I ask all the experts to support with data, give some flowers and votes, or say a few words in the comments. Feilu's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab it now. Activity period, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 10 Myriad Tribulations Indestructible Body, Empress Gu Qingge. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Northern Wilderness, Gu Family, Arctic Sky City. As one of the top 3 forces in the Northern Wilderness, Gu Family's strength was already formidable, but in recent years, it has expanded rapidly, surpassing the Su family and the White Cloud dynasty. Therefore, there are many forces coming and going in Arctic Sky City, all of them trying to please Gu Family, wanting to attach themselves to Gu Family and avoid being dealt with by Gu Family in the future. Nowadays, many forces in the Northern Wilderness have already realized that Gu Family's rise is unstoppable and it is highly likely to swallow up the Su family and the White Cloud dynasty. Once it absorbs these 2 forces, Gu Family is highly likely to become a top-level force. For these small forces that exist below the top 3, if they don't take sides in advance, they will only face being dealt with. In order to avoid this situation, they can only choose to please Gu Family. For a while, Arctic Sky City is extremely lively, with various war chariots and divine ships constantly appearing, with divine lights flickering, and important figures or sect leaders from all over coming to visit. The strong members of Gu Family also greet them with smiles. Hiss, another sect leader has come to visit. That one is the sect master of the Northern Sword Sect, and he is an everlasting realm venerable, second only to the top 3 forces. Even he has come to Gu Family. It seems that Gu Family is really going to dominate the Northern Wilderness. Not only the Northern Sword Sect, but also strong members from other top forces in different regions keep coming to congratulate. It is said that even an elder from a top-level force has come. Gu Family's face is really big. This is also because Gu Family has shown such terrifying strength. Nearly 20 everlasting realm experts. How terrifying is that? It can rival top-level forces. If the Gu Family can truly unify the Northern Wilderness and another saint appears, then they can truly become a top-level power. That within the Arctic Heavenly City, within the drunken Immortal Tower, some powerful individuals were drinking the Tianjiao spirit wine, their eyes filled with astonishment as they watched the various sect leaders coming and going. In recent years, the strength displayed by the Gu Family has been terrifying, leaving them all in awe. Compared to the Gu Family, the Su family and the White Cloud dynasty are undoubtedly far inferior. The Su family has suffered heavy losses in their confrontation with the Gu family, with 2 everlasting realms falling. The outcome of this battle has revealed the terror of the Gu family, completely suppressing the Su family and forcing them to retreat step by step. If it weren't for the fact that the Su family still had an immortal ancestor, they would have likely been wiped out by the Gu family. The Su family is probably finished. The Gu family has already sent troops to attack the violet mysterious heaven. They are going to uproot the Su family. At this moment, a middle-aged man dressed in Taoist robes smiled faintly and revealed a big piece of news. What? That's so ruthless. Isn't the Gu family afraid of the Su family fighting to the death? The Su family has an immortal ancestor, a formidable person who has killed 3 semi-saints. If that immortal ancestor appears, I'm afraid the Gu family won't be enough to kill them, right? In the tavern, many people shook their heads in disbelief. Although Gu family is powerful and has been suppressing Su family, even forcing Su family to retreat step by step, they believe that as long as the immortal ancestor is present, Gu family cannot be too arrogant. Hehe, you don't understand. Gu family's strength is not simple. Su family has the immortal ancestor, but does Gu family not have one? Gu family's ancestor, TSK, has already successfully broken through. While Su family's immortal ancestor has been in seclusion for hundreds of years, trying to break through to the saint level, but has not appeared in hundreds of years, the result, of course, is failure. Now that Gu family's ancestor has succeeded, the result is self-evident. Upon hearing this, the middle-aged man in Taoist robe smiled playfully. Hiss. So, is Su family really finished? Gu family's ancestor, could it be? With these words, the expressions of the crowd instantly changed. They were all powerful individuals, including those in the law manifestation realm. With a little speculation, they could understand the meaning behind it, and they were shocked. For a while, the gazes of the crowd towards the middle-aged man in the Taoist robe also changed. "Master, you are truly remarkable. May I ask where you learned your skills?" An old man in the law manifestation realm politely asked. "Just an unknown Taoist, not worth mentioning. As for my teacher, I am just an ordinary person, not skilled in my studies. How can I dare to randomly claim a prestigious teacher?" The middle-aged man in the Taoist robe waved his hand, indifferent. "Gu family. Cough cough cough. Am I still alive?" In a secluded room, a delicate and exquisitely beautiful girl slowly opened her eyes, her face extremely pale, and looked at the ceiling with some confusion. Then, her eyes suddenly sharpened, as if countless thoughts were quickly flashing through her mind. An ancient and noble aura permeated, like an empress who had ruled for eternity. "I am Gu Qingge, the Empress of 10,000 calamities, the ruler of the everlasting heaven realm, wielding the red lotus immortal fire." "But didn't I already fall in that battle?" The beautiful girl murmured, her face constantly changing, extremely complex. "So that's how it is." But soon, she calmed down, her eyes flickered as she looked at this familiar yet unfamiliar room, let out a sigh, and spoke with a somewhat indifferent tone. "I did die indeed, but I was reborn back to the ancient times, during the era of the Gu family." "Gu family, Gu Qingge." Gu Qingge muttered to herself. When she mentioned Gu family, Gu Qingge, her tone was filled with boundless hatred, killing intent, and more. Gu Qingge was precisely the name of the Gu family's ancestor. Her name was Gu Qingge, a member of the Gu family, a member of the 9th branch. Several years ago, it was discovered that she possessed the Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone, a qualification that was a peak divine body. Originally, this was a great joy that shook the family. The elders of the 9th branch were even more ecstatic, wanting to carefully cultivate Gu Qingge and have her become a saint in the future, or even a great saint, leading the family to rise. But unfortunately, the main branch of the family also had an unparalleled genius named Gu Yi, who was also a divine body, but only possessed the ordinary spirit ascension physique, far inferior to Gu Qingge's Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone. In order to prevent the 9th branch from threatening the main branch of the family, the lady of the Gu family secretly plotted and, with the help of a few maidservants, used an ancient secret technique to extract the Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone from the girl and transplant it into Gu Yi's body. And in the following years, they treated Gu Qingge as a pig, using her Myriad Tribulations Dao blood to nourish Gu Yi, in order to integrate and unite the Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone. Of course, the elders of the 9th branch, including the girl's parents, naturally refused to accept this, but they were ruthlessly dealt with by the main branch of the family, accused of being traitors colluding with outsiders. All of this naturally alarmed Gu family's ancestor, Gu Qingge. But he decided to let it go and resolve it for the sake of the Gu family, since everything had already happened. He also dealt with the lady of the Gu family's head, in order to quell the turmoil within the family. How ridiculous, all this talk about doing it for the good of the Gu family, about cultivating Gu Yi, it's all just for oneself. Old bastard, I killed you in the previous life, and in this life, I will kill you again. Gu Qingge's face was cold, and she muttered to herself. As a reborn person, Gu Qingge knew everything about the future. She also knew that all of this was nonsense. Although the family head had great power, how could a lady of the Gu family dare to be so bold? All of this was secretly instructed by Gu family's ancestor. He just didn't personally intervene, and Gu family's ancestor's goal was very clear, to take over Gu Yi's body. That's why he planned this whole thing, transplanting the girl's Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone into Gu Yi's body, just to make his aptitude even more extraordinary. In the end, he did succeed. However, he was later killed by Gu Qingge. Old man, you would never have guessed that my constitution is not the Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone, but the Myriad Tribulations Indestructible Body. Gu Qingge thought to herself, the so-called Myriad Tribulations Dao Bone is nothing more than the power emanating from the Myriad Tribulations Indestructible Body, a byproduct that it condenses. In the previous life, after Gu Qingge died, the Myriad Tribulations Indestructible Body automatically activated, reviving the girl and displaying an incredibly heaven-defying aptitude. In just 1,000 years, she became a quasi-emperor at the 9th heaven, and in the end, she crushed the Gu family. Patriarch with just a finger. It really hurts. Gu Qingge touched her chest and smiled faintly, but her smile was somewhat chilling. She remembered the scenes of being dug out of her Myriad Tribulations Dao bone by several maidservants. The pain of having her heart dug out was still fresh in her memory, vividly remembered to this day. At this time, that old thing should be attacking the Su family. I need to escape as soon as possible. Gu Qingge's heart trembled. Although she was reborn and had memories from her previous life, she was still powerless and her constitution had not yet activated. She dared not be careless, afraid of making mistakes and deviating from the path of her previous life. As long as I leave the Gu family, with the memories of my previous life and the use of secret techniques for cultivation, within 10 years, I will have the strength of the law manifestation realm, a great saint in 100 years, effortlessly. By then, I will easily crush Gu Qingge. That a cold killing intent flashed in Gu Qingge's eyes, just as she was preparing to find a way to escape from the Gu family. A faint sense of sadness surged in her heart. It was just a mild feeling, not profound, but it made her pause, and an incredible feeling arose in her heart. Did that old man Gu Qingge die? Gu Qingge was completely dumbfounded. Flylo's 18th anniversary brand upgrade rewards for readers. Top up 100 and get 500 VIP points. Grab the top up now. Promotion period, August 10th to August 20th.